clear values and priorities, and a solid sense of purpose forged during the difficult years during and after World War II. A strong work ethic coupled with a focus on family, faith, and patriotism defined this generation of Americans. They knew who they were and what they stood for, and therefore how to focus their time and energy. Fortunately, there is actually a simple solution to cutting through the noise of modern society, which can help you make effective decisions whenever you feel overwhelmed by all the available options. Define your core values. Why core values? One of the simplest ways to eliminate mental clutter and live a more fulfilling life is to define your values and guiding principles for your life. Now, more than ever, we need these principles to help us clarify how we want to spend our time, energy, and money. Why is this important? Because your core values can serve as a measuring stick for all of your choices and decisions in life, keeping you focused on the person you want to be and the life you wish to lead. By living in alignment with your values, you create the best environment for happiness, inner peace, and clear thinking. Core values form a foundation for your life that endures through time, life difficulties, and major changes. Embracing your core values is like being a tree with deep and stable roots. The storms of life will not dislodge you. When you're clear on your values, you reduce confusion, overthinking, worry, and anxiety. For example, one of Barry's core values in her professional life is freedom and flexibility. Once she defined this value, she didn't want to pursue a traditional 9-to-5 job because she knew she wouldn't be happy. Even when great job opportunities came her way, it was easy to say, "No, thank you," because she was clear on her values. Personal development blogger and author Steve Pavlina describes the importance of core values like this: values act as our compass to put us back on course every single day, so that day after day, we're moving in the direction that takes us closer and closer to our definition of the best life we could possibly live. The best is your own ideal, but generally as you get closer to this ideal, you'll enjoy increasingly positive shades of better even if you never reach best. And this makes sense because many results in life exist on a continuum. Living out of alignment with your values or outgrowing your existing values can throw you off course and contribute to feelings of anxiety and depression. If you haven't defined your values, your life can feel unbalanced or directionless, and you may not know why. In this section, we go over 4 strategies to define your core values and make intelligent decisions about your life obligations, so what you do on a daily basis matches up with these important items. Strategy number 1, identify your core values. To understand why something feels wrong, you must have a strong grasp of what is right for you. Who do you want to be and how do you want to live your life? If you have never defined your values, you are sailing the sea of life without a compass. You're allowing the winds and storms to define your direction and accepting the outcome without question. Even if you have defined them in the past, it doesn't hurt to revisit them, as your values can change over time. Here's a 6-step process for defining your values. 1. First, go through this list of value words on Barry's blog Live Bold and Bloom, and write down every value word that feels important to you for your personal life. 2. Then, go through the list again, and write down every value word that feels important for your career or business. 3. For both lists, pick your top 5 to 6 values, and write them down on 2 separate sheets of paper. Title one sheet Life Values and the other Work Values. 4. Under each value, list all of the ways you are currently living out of alignment with this value. For example, if one of your values is quality time with family, but you travel 5 days a week, you may not be honoring this value. 5. For each value, think about actions you could take to fix those out of alignment situations. Ask yourself, what do I need to do to correct this situation so I'm honoring my core values? If you use the example about family time, maybe one action is cutting back on your travel schedule, or hiring out some household tasks when you're home so you can spend more quality time with family. Write these down for both life and work even if the actions seem impossible right now. 6. On both lists of actions, put a check mark next to the actions that are doable for you now or in the near future. Break these actions down into even smaller, easily manageable actions. These actions might involve making calls, rearranging your schedule, delegating some responsibilities, brainstorming a possible career change, thinking of ways to re-engage with your spouse, etc. Once you have a list of values that align with your goals, review it on a daily basis and make sure that the actions you take match these desired outcomes. You may want to focus first on your personal values and then on your professional values. Or you might choose one value from each and start there. No matter what you pick, be sure to start with the area of your life where you feel the biggest disconnect. This is where you likely feel the most internal pain and mental agitation. Chip away at your action list daily so you can create changes and boundaries that prevent you from mindlessly wandering away from your values again. Even small, incremental changes can create a huge, positive shift in your attitude. You'll have a sense of direction and a purpose that feels authentic to you, even if you can't act on it all immediately. This is an incredibly empowering feeling. You'll still have times of transition and upheaval, but this values exercise gives you the tools to navigate through all of life's ups and downs. Strategy number 2, clarify your life priorities. Once you've defined your core values, you should use this information to complete another exercise that will enrich your life. Clarify your life priorities so you know exactly how you want to spend your time, energy, and money. Without knowing our priorities, we allow the pressures of life to determine our actions and decisions. An email comes in, and we respond. An enticing offer appears on our Facebook page, and we buy it. Someone interrupts our workflow, and we allow it. When we don't know the bigger why of our lives, there are no rules, no boundaries, no priorities to help us. Here's another exercise that we recommend that will help you figure out where you are currently spending your time, energy, and money. Answer the following questions as honestly as possible. Also, be sure to have your list of personal and professional core values handy as you answer. How much time per day do you feel you waste on activities unrelated to your core values, i.e., surfing the net, watching mindless TV, shopping, or working in a job you hate? How are you spending money unconsciously? How are you interacting with the people you care about unconsciously? How do you make career decisions, i.e., do you have a predetermined plan or do you spend most of your day in reaction mode? How much time do you spend worrying about how you should best spend your time and money? What tasks, obligations, and relationships are you allowing in your life unconsciously? How are you neglecting other important parts of your life that you never seem to have time for? Now that you see how you're actually spending your energy and focus, let's determine the ideal way you'd like to prioritize the important areas of your life. For the sake of this discussion, let's look at 7 main life areas to help you establish your priorities and how you want to spend your time and money. If you want to add or remove any of these areas, feel free to do so if they don't apply to you now. The areas are: 1. Career, 2. Family, 3. Marriage, or love partnership, 4. Spiritual/personal growth/self-improvement, 5. Leisure/social, 6. Life management, i.e., home tasks, financial planning, budgeting, etc. 7. Health and fitness. If you sleep 8 hours a day, that leaves 16 waking hours. Let's remove 2 hours a day for personal hygiene activities and eating. That leaves 14 waking hours a day or 98 hours a week. For the sake of simplicity, let's round that up to 100 hours a week. In an ideal world, how would you prioritize those 7 key areas of your life? How many hours of those 100 per week would you prefer to devote to each area, using your values to help guide you? 2 examples. Barry's current life priorities focus heavily on career, love relationship, and life management. Her children are young adults, and since she recently moved to a new city, many of her friends and family aren't nearby. Ideally, she'd like to give more time to leisure and social activities, as well as fitness and self-improvement. She is trying to focus more on these things as she gets more acclimated to her new location. Steve's current priority focuses heavily on family, due to his recent marriage, the birth of his son, and the fact that his parents just turned 70. So his current goal is to spend as much time as possible with the people he loves the most in the world. While his career, i.e., online business and fitness were the biggest priorities only a few years ago, they now are less important than his interpersonal relationships. Often, this means letting go of the major goals that once seemed important.